thought I knew the OCI backwards and forwards. The Marauders got a way of finding every nook and cranny on this rock. OCI. Fancy joint. Smells like Wentworth's and leather. A real slice of Byzantium. You don't set that up unless you're planning something big. Adrena time? Sure. But something tells me there's more to the story. Got a hunch to follow up on near the old mines. I'm leaving this here, in case I gotta come back.
Like wrapped among the rocks. Fine.
This place stinks like the wrong end of a primal. And I think I'm close to figuring out why. Something's off with this place. Those ain't normal primals. Thought I was onto something before. Now I'm sure of it. I got a theory to test at that Marauder camp.
This facility is currently experiencing. Please speak the...
We attest to the zest with our hand on our chest. Be impressed as our guest by what we've finessed. You are blessed to ingest what we thoroughly test. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice.
Passphrase accepted. Welcome.
Almost hard to believe something so awful as a dream at time came from a place that looks so normal. Normal.
Someone's coming. Investigating.
Here they come!
Roscoe, it's Georgie. If you're hearing this, you must still be holed up at the Sprat Shack. And you're not gonna like this one bit. I was trying to steal our recordings when things went crazy. I know. Like I said, sorry. And I'm gonna be in a heap of trouble if I don't get them, so if you want to save my bacon, you need to do it for me. I need the 3 interviews we did with Ambrose, this one here, plus another recording of my own. I left that last one with a guy who owed me a favor at the garbage processing office in the chemical waste ravine. I'll leave an automech near Stellar Freighting. It'll want all 5 recordings, plus a passphrase. Glacial Age.
It looks so homey. Like a family lived here. All that goodness turned to such devilish ends.
How the devil do I use this thing? Is it what? Oh, the barrel's turning. All right. I feel like an absolute idiot barking into this horn. I shouldn't have let Lucien talk me into this. What use do I have with audible notes? Posterity my ass. Ah, great fucking law. What's it doing now? Jasper! Jasper, it's... How do I turn it off? It won't.
Just press the button.
The what?
Oh, for law's sake, the button, Ollie.
Accursed thing.
What was Mr. Lowe doing with all these primals?
Garbage disposal mode.
That's the last of them!
Nice work. Heroes searching.
Incoming! Incoming! That's the last of them! Mr. Lowe was awfully messy, wasn't he?
You survived. You're remarkably intent on scuttling my every plan to end you. How inconsiderate. Especially after I've gone to so much effort to see Gordon.
Since we've been traveling together, we've visited a lot of places that set my teeth on edge. This here makes my skin crawl.
I've seen negligence and greed and incompetence run rampant over this colony. But this was evil.
Some of their folks ain't entirely bad. They made Edgewater's walls strong and kept our water running. But mucking about with our biology? Our bodies? It's wrong. The folks down here dedicated their lives to fixing Halcyon. They were supposed to be the company's best and brightest. How'd they lose their way?
That ain't an excuse. Everyone knows they're shitty, so let's just let them keep doing it? No wonder Minnie's trying to clear her name. This kind of disaster is liable to stain a family for generations.
Night falls on Gorgon. Though I suppose it's always dark here in the void. The lab is empty, and I am at last alone. I'm preoccupied with thoughts of the single-celled xenocytes that make their home here on
About
this...
damn time. I need a beer and a shower. Maybe at the same time.
They require adversity to thrive. Perhaps that's why our bodies react to theirs. There is a harmony in us. The law didn't craft us for the void, yet we scrabble across its cold worlds, building, persisting, as the xenocytes do. We live. Against all odds,
You'd think that by now these lab coats would have learned not to mess with these beasts. It never ends.
Here we go! Call it kill! Look at us!
We live. Against all odds, we live. But for how long?
Someone was doing research right near the dump? Ugh. Smells something awful.
Tell me about the production of adrenatime, Dr. Ambrose. I hear Compound X is a unique challenge to work with.
It's temperamental. It must be refined under tightly controlled circumstances at tremendously low temperatures.
Do you compound it with anything else? Tell me more about your refining process. Our audience is conversant in the sciences, very detail-oriented, so don't be afraid to get technical.
Last time I met you, you spoke like a groundbreaker builder sprat. Why the sudden airs and such specific questions? Does your minder know what you're up to? Does he suspect you're a spy?
Pardon me.
Sure would be a bad time for an earthquake. Don't mess with us. This
Welcome to the Adrenatime Synthesis and Manufactory Center. Brought to you, this productivity automechanical unit is at your disposal. Its normal duties involve, however, due to the promotion, demotion, death, or injury to other managers of this facility, reception, human resources. Please direct any questions about those departments to Pam. Answers not guaranteed. According to this facility's hierarchy, there are 0 acting managers at this Spacer's Choice facility. Not to worry. If a middle manager cannot immediately be replaced, Pam can safely oversee. Uh-oh. It looks like there are intruders in this facility. Protocol recommends speaking. Did you know that keeping your workers alive boosts productivity? That's why when Pam's emergency combat protocols are activated, Your investments are sure to be protected. Warning. Due to power consumption, combat protocols cannot be activated when Pam's Spacer's Choice policy dictates. Emergency combat protocols, please ensure.
I could give it a shot. There we go.
This unit's power error. Pretend that this Pam is equipped to talk about my door's verbal management test engaging.
Are those eyes following us? Who would build such a creepy thing?
If I didn't know better, I'd swear it was watching me.
rest are suspicious. They're building something here, and it probably ain't good.
Is it weird if this thing kind of reminds me of the OSI building back in Edgewater? Like it's sort of holy?
It is pretty, though. In a maniacally wasteful way. This is the place, right? Let's find that journal.
Did you manage to... Well, I'll be damned. Now I can finally get off this rock and go home. I know it's not much, but take the last of my bits. She couldn't have been. We were together all the time. Except... oh, shit. My weekly calls with headquarters. What could she even want to ask Olivia Ambrose about? Good fucking law. Headquarters would kill me if they knew. Right after they killed... Hell. Being stuck here might have been the only thing keeping me up. No, I mean... sometimes it seemed like there could be, when we were servicing the phonographs, or sharing a beer, but... Ha, sure. Nice of you to say. Sorry. Not much in the mood for a witty repartee, what with the world Any other horrible truths you want to Listen, I appreciate you. I need some time to think. Got a lot to Yeah, I'll just... see you around.
We are receiving an incoming signal, Captain.
Captain, I see you've made some headway on Gorgon. Mother's old work terminal just lit up with a bunch of new protocols. Very exciting. What about Mother's journal? Any progress there? Are you accusing me of deception? Captain, I would never. Can you hear me, Captain? I'm getting some interference on my end. Captain! Captain!
Hello again, little weasel. I must admit, you've surprised me. I threw nearly everything I had at you, and you overcame it all. Well spotted, Captain. We've both played our roles well, but it seems you've got the edge. I may have gravely underestimated you. You were smart to hire him, Wilhelmina. Well done.
Mother, you're alive! And still on Gorgon? This is so you, Mother. Inserting yourself where you aren't needed and at the worst possible time.
Am I disrupting your vanity project, you empty-headed little twit?
Have you come back just to ruin everything again, Mother? At least this time I have the power to stop you.
Captain, this is a distraction. Let's set our differences aside and focus on what matters. Adrena time must never be revived.
I may not have told you all of the facts, but I'm going to lay out everything I know. You can decide for yourself what to do with it. By now, you realize that Project Gorgon was devoted to a single drug, adrenatime. A drug that hit the market in spite of calamitous side effects. The project was a colossal failure, but you and I are going to revive it from the ashes. Adrenatime was a lie. Our drug will fulfill its broken promise for workers and employers across the colony. Mother wasn't equal to the task. Thankfully for us both, I'm not my mother. What you've seen is the result of Mother's leadership. I have no intention of repeating her mistakes. Mother's journal contains the activation codes for the adrenatime synthesizer, the key to a new Project Gorgon. We're going to start again, and this time with everything Project Gorgon didn't have. Better R&D, better scientists, clear goals, more funding, and a timeline that makes sense. Who else? Spacer's choice. After I showed them the error of their ways, the corporation couldn't wait to restart the project. If I can improve the chemistry, I can fix adrenatime. We can put this colony back on track together. I needed to keep this quiet. Spacer's choice shut down adrenatime once. I didn't want to give them a reason to do so again.
Listen to yourself. Adrenatime ruined lives. It killed people, changed them. And now Halcyon buckles beneath the yoke of my failure. We can't risk opening Pandora's box a second time.
What about my life, Mother? The Ambrose name has no dignity anymore. I can't even show my face around Byzantium without being the gossip of the town. My reputation is a weapon, one that I can wield against those who squandered their one chance to save the colony. Every day, workers slump over from exhaustion. The gears of industry swallow them whole, and no one is coming to help. Adrenatime is the break we can't fit into the schedule. The office with a window we can't afford to build. It's the best this rotten colony can do for people. It's a bandage, not a cure. Halcyon is wounded, and I will do everything in my power to stop the bleeding.
Don't let those bloodless leeches at Spacer's Choice walk you down this perilous path, Wilhelmina. You haven't the fortitude to endure it.
As usual, Mother projects her failures onto me. If she had let me get involved from the start, we might have avoided this calamity altogether. My intentions are greater than some family squabble. Besides, Mother is the one who should be proving herself to me.
Fuck your intentions. What have you done? I always suspected you were nothing more than an empty-headed social climber. This confirms it.
You see what I mean? Mother is afraid of being outdone by her empty-headed daughter, and she'll do anything to stop me. If I can save the colony and redeem the Ambrose family name, I owe it to myself to try. Mother be damned. Social engineering takes generations, and we don't have the luxury of time. We need to mainline progress into Halcyon's bloodstream. You've seen more of this colony than the average grunt. You know as well as I do that this is a question of survival.
Finally, a sensible question. I am the head of Project Gorgon, its grand mastermind. I created Adrenatime because I believed, arrogantly, foolishly, that I could uplift the common man through chemistry. I failed.
With Adrenatime, we can increase worker productivity orders of magnitude above ordinary stems, and risk none of the harmful side effects. Imagine if we flooded the market with drugs that actually helped people. We could influence the very business model of Spacer's Choice. We won't be exploiting workers any longer. We'll be celebrating them, giving them everything they need to succeed.
No, this is madness. The project, the complex, it has to be destroyed, razed to the ground. It's the only way.
Gorgon is a cautionary tale. We agree on that much. But if we go into this with open eyes, then history doesn't have to repeat itself. I need that facility online, but I can't do it while Mother's still a problem. By now, she'll have shut down the Gorgon reactor. Deal with her however it suits you, and get that facility back up and running.
Don't do this, Wilhelmina. Minnie, don't make this choice.
Adrena time is our future. It's bigger than money, bigger than family. It's the colony's best hope.
Return to my family's manor, Captain. Use the executive override code in my journal to activate the NDA protocol for my terminal. It will destroy the Gorgon drug synthesizer and put an end to Adrena time for good. My daughter's gotten her hooks into you. I understand. She's always had a knack for manipulating people. But I know you're more than her foolish little puppet. You've survived this long. You have to be more. She will try to force you to fight her. You don't have to. In fact, I would ask you not to. Whatever mistakes she might make, she is still my daughter.
Captain, in light of recent events, I'm putting the manor under lockdown. Until Mother is dealt with, anyone who lands here is presumed hostile. Finish the job. I know you won't disappoint me.
I must confess, for far too long, you're sure this... Yes, that's the spot exactly. I... We arrived at Amber's Manor. Good luck, Captain. Sam, I must We arrive at Amber's Nest.
Stay on your guard, Captain.
The jig is up, Cap. I'd wager we're in for a fight.
Security patrol.
I wish I could do that. Nothing good ever come out of a place like this, Captain. Nice one! Oh, you got that?
Go!
I warn you not to set foot in here until the job was done? You should have listened to my advice. There's nothing to discuss. I can fix Adrenatime without you, and certainly without Mother. You wasted your time coming here, and worse, you wasted mine. But I won't let anything stand in the way of progress. You'll surprise me, Captain. Once we fix the chemistry of Adrenatime, the Marauder problem will simply take care of itself.
But a lot of folks are gonna suffer in the meantime. And you don't even know if it'll work.
Yeah, fight horrific science with horrific science. That's always worked out in the past.
The days of the old Adrenatime are numbered, and Marauders are bound for extinction. Insane people addicted to drugs are Mother's problem. Am I to be held accountable for her mess?
It ain't about who's accountable. Those people are hurting, and they're hurting others. You could help them.
Besides, Mother is determined to ruin everything she touches. First Adrenatime, then our family, and now my ambition. Spacer's choice is only a means to an end. They have resources, I have a plan. And Mother isn't part of that plan. Mother never let me anywhere near R&D. I was always her incompetent little brat. And how would you know a thing like that? Protect me from what? A promising career? My own hopes and dreams? If Mother had let me get involved, Gorgon might have been a success. But she never believed in me. Not once. Stand down? People want to buy clean drugs, and I want to sell them. Under my leadership. Farewell, Captain. If it wasn't already obvious...
Incoming!
You finished it, Captain. You've put Gorgon down once and for all. I only wish that Minnie had seen reason. The good we could have done together. Join me for a toast in the drawing room. I do believe you're due a reward.
After all we've seen of this lady, are we sure this ain't a trap?
Hand to law, Captain. I mean you no harm. No, it most certainly is. Quit fooling around. I'll have a drink waiting.
Running diagnostic.
Captain, I believe a celebration is in order. The Gorgon project is dead, and we are not.
Well, I'm always up for round two.
Speak up, Captain. I can't hear a thing when you mumble like that. Aren't you a funny one? Shall we toast? May they meet the justice of the blade, bullet, or pen, whichever is most expedient. It's funny. When Spacer's Choice released Adrenatime to the public and began the Marauder crisis, and I sabotaged all the Gorgon facilities, I thought that was the end for me. Then you came along and changed everything. I find myself at loose ends now, Captain. What happens next? I'll gladly humor one or two for the executioner of Gorgon. Before I explain, there's a critical detail you must understand. Halcyon is in the midst of a slow-moving crisis, one that will not improve on its own. The board knows this, but they're not lifting a finger to address it. In the absence of their leadership, I thought I could bridge the gap. So I tried to create a drug to expand our workers' minds and improve their bodies. Help them work harder, longer, and smarter. With everyone at their best, I thought the colony might be able to innovate itself out of this hole. Don't be preposterous. Eugenics is bunk science, a charlatan's game. Snake oil for a pathetic elite who want to believe that they've earned their privileges and that the poor have earned their suffering. My work is nothing like theirs. Don't tar it with their brush. If Spacer's Choice had given me time to perfect Adrenatime, I know I could have done it. My drug could have saved Halcyon. Don't presume to know what I have and have not tried to do to help Alción, Captain. Though that isn't to say I couldn't have tried harder or enlisted my peers' help. You're right about that. Was there anything else you wanted to discuss before I bid you farewell? I certainly did. Spacer's Choice's negligence sent Halcyon into a tailspin, and they refused to pull Adrenatime from the market to stop it. They forced my hand. I ended the project the only way I could, by destroying everything. I had faith a strapping hero would come along someday and do it for me. I'm joking, obviously. You were a bolt from the blue. Or the black, as it were. 2 reasons, actually. I couldn't bear to kill so many of my staff, even though our work killed exponentially more colonists. I didn't want to give up on my research, even after all it had cost us. In those early days of the Marauder epidemic, I still believed I could fix Adrenatime. As time went on, I became convinced I could cure the Marauders. But once again, Spacer's Choice has forced my hand, this time through my daughter. And I have to let that dream die too. Children do not remain so forever. She grew up, and we grew apart. I could have tried harder to reach her, to support her. I know. But I confess, I always found my work more engaging than child-rearing. And Minnie and I had so little in common. In the end, my distance seemed a blessing. I don't deny that. But I do regret it. She might still be alive if she hadn't inherited her worst traits from me. What else might I answer for you before you go, Captain? Down there, on Gorgon. It was. But I had my work to keep me company. Work, and a great many number of ghosts. I was obsessed with the notion that I might find a cure for the Marauders. That I could right the tremendous wrong we'd done to them. I think I was a little mad. Perhaps I still am. I wanted to do it all on my own, to fix everything myself. But the problem of the Marauders was too complex for me to solve. And with Gorgon gone, it will remain that way. Not for lack of trying. I had some close calls in the early years. But Marauders aren't especially observant. Easy enough to tiptoe past with practice. Of course. Anything else? Or shall I let you see yourself out? Maybe I'll find a handsome little bolt hole out there in the aether, and endeavor to keep a low profile, as they say. Maybe I'll pick up a soothing, useless hobby, like watercolor painting. Spacer's Choice will want to take their turn at revenge, and I'd rather not be within reach when they do. I'll take it a day at a time. Run when I have to, hide when I can. There's no glory in it, but I'm eager to put those days behind me. Where will the future lead you, Captain? Halcyon doesn't deserve your tireless efforts, but I'll be damned if she isn't lucky to have you. In any case, I do believe this is the end. Law willing, Adrenatime is dead for good, and the Marauders will die out with it. Goodbye, Captain, and thank you again. May the stellar wind be ever at your back.
Please remember, as it was before the fall.
We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Spacer's Choice dehydrated water tablets. Just add air. Now available in carbonated.
You got some nimble fingers, Captain. Great work.
Burning the midnight oil, are we? The Halcyon Parcel Service's work is never done. Welcome to Halcyon Parcel Service. Deliveries guaranteed within standard mark.
What do you...
And we're stalking. And we're stalking.
Do you mind? I'm meeting someone. Shh. No names, okay? The Phoenix is a wanted man and the board has eyes everywhere. Yeah, you're looking to make contact with Minister... Magpie. I should warn you, it won't be easy. He spends most of his time in his... Afraid not. He almost never leaves his home and his guards never leave him.
Can't say I blame him. It's scary out of doors. I mean, can you even count how many times we've been shot at?
What work specialists, huh? Our mutual friend is really branching out. Whoa, I'm not one of your B&E specialists. I just provide intelligence. Some of the guards hang around Billingsley's House of Inebriation between shifts.
House of Inebriation? Count me the hell in!
Maybe you could do some reconnaissance there. You know, swipe a key while nobody's looking. Just remember, you didn't hear it from me. I've always been fascinated by birds. If you ever research Earth species, there are thousands of them, so colorful and distinct.
Here we got 11 flavors of terror rays and not much else. That kind of variety? I mean, gosh, seems almost impossible.
All of them trying to eat you, I'd wait.
The other thing about birds, though, is their environmental indicators. Exactly. I started thinking about everything we see around Halcyon, and all the things we don't see. For starters, you rarely come across anyone living in Byzantium who wasn't born here, even though we get ships in all the time. Doesn't that seem strange to you? And then there's the way nothing gets fixed. There used to be a suggestion box around here. People would drop ideas in. Nothing ever came of them, of course. I mean, there's a shredder at the bottom of the box. But
Spacer's Choice free sliced bread. It feels fresh because it was.
Hey, stand back. You. I'm part of. Of course not. But I'm not on the job, right? The others took me out to celebrate on account of me just getting hired and all. He's basically the most important. That means I got a key to the minister's estate, my own personal ED. That's right. Not just anyone is allowed to have a key to Minister Clark's residence. That's a great idea! I'll have a Spectrum vodka.
Captain, I can smell him from clear over here. I reckon he's had a fair number.
Sure have, because today's my big...
He's got powerful
And a powerful... You have a spec... Here's to me. Hey, you're really great. Have I told you that? Wow, listen to me. I'm soaked. I should probably slow down before I'm... Who am I kidding? Oh, he's, medium height with, like, medium-colored hair and, like... Everyone tells me he's very... Oh, maybe they... What?
Then you'll want to speak with...
He's alive.
It's not every day. Wow, you've got, like, this crazy energy. Oh, Laws, I gotta stop. I'm seeing at...
Only two? You got a ways to go.
I really shouldn't. I'll have the worst hangover tomorrow. You sure sound like you... Okay, here. Yeah. Was that one supposed to taste like? I don't feel so good. I just need to sit down.
Remember that strange
Is Mayfield still drinking?
Keep your shoulders up.
How did you get in here? You're not one of my guards. What are you doing?
Oh, my law. Captain! Captain!
If this is about another aether wave clip or radio spot, you may kindly fuck off, as the parlance goes. I'm not doing any more. Drugs, of course. What else would it be? I don't have any drugs. You should try a vending...
He's got no idea what we're asking about.
Will that be... Oh dear, I don't think I can say this any more slowly. Of course, of course. It's Rockwell again. Who else? And I thought he was only holding me here. Chairman Rockwell. He's kept me under house arrest for years. I've long suspected him of transacting business.
You've been all alone in this house? Would you like...
Please, this is important. Whatever it is that brought you here, Rockwell's the one behind it. Whatever Rockwell's doing, he'll be doing it from the HHC headquarters. Your best lead is to look for details in his office.
This all feels off, Captain. Like when there's a storm coming, but everything's...
Believe me, things have been off around here for a very, very long time.
This colony's problems have always seemed to trickle down from the top. If we're set on fixing Halcyon.
Exactly. And fix it we must. Why, this is starting to sound like an issue of Dissident Hunter. It usually doesn't turn out so well for the dissidents in the stories, but I like your verve. Now we've got to get into the HHC. That's in the Acropolis district, along with the other major corporate and government facilities. But only board employees are allowed into the district. There's a heavily guarded checkpoint just down the street. There might be a route through the maintenance tunnels, but I'm afraid I don't know specifics. Most people avoid. When you reach the HHC building, this access card should get you up to the executive... Wait! Rockwell has one of the only terminals capable of transmitting to the Earthbound method. Please, take this and transmit it from his office. Rockwell hasn't given me any messages from Earth for years, but they need to know what's happening here. What isn't on it is the real question. I've gathered meeting minutes, internal messages, sustainability reports, and more, all exposing the corruption. Once the rest of the Earth Directorate sees it, they'll have to send help.
But they wouldn't get here for... I don't even know. Shouldn't we do something our own selves?
It's worth a try, but the Earth Directorate still needs that message. We must hope for their intervention. Perhaps there is hope after all. And now I entrust it to you. Good luck, and trust no one.
What? What was that? I'd better take a look. Guess I'm seeing things. Keep your eyes out for dissidents.
Oh, there. That's one right there.
I'm not sure I have ever, in my entire life, felt more out of place than I do at this moment.
Just to take a bathroom break.
Can't be too careful.
Welcome to the official
Dissidents like
headquarters
Phineas
of the
Wells will
Alción
stop at
Holdings
nothing.
Corporation Board. Today's greeting is brought to you.
Nothing exciting ever happens around here. State your business. Please step away. This entry is for high priority HHC business only. Huh. I didn't realize we were still using those iridescent stickers. But this looks right. I'll just need you to register your weapons with a revised request to carry. I'm not authorized to employ humor on the job, sir. Now, let's see. I was going to suggest that myself. Look, you don't have time to wait on new forms, and I can't afford... Just...
I beg your pardon. Minister Clark's former office is current... What? Oh dear. Thank you for reminding me.
You could dismantle a single room of this place, sell the materials, and feed everyone on mano.
Good afternoon. I'm Chairman Rockwell, and I'm here to address a serious issue facing us. As you all know, our colony has been successful beyond our wildest dreams. Unfortunately, we've recently discovered that our food supply will not be able to sustain Halcyon's population in the long term. Everyone will die. Everyone will slowly stop living from malnutrition. But we're doing it together, and that's what matters. I fucking swear, if someone doesn't give me something to read that will placate the masses soon, all of you will find yourselves violently unemployed. But I can assure you there's nothing to fear. We've got a solution. It's called the Lifetime Employment Program. We will freeze most of the colony to preserve resources, while the best and brightest of Byzantium continue living in prosperity. Look, you idiots! How many times do I have to tell you we can't say shit like that? Fire whoever wrote this! While Halcyon's brightest minds solve the problem of our nutritional shortage, the rest of the colony will be placed in suspended animation. Individuals will be revived on a rotating basis, so that every Halcyonite can be part of the important work of saving our colony. By testing paperweights. Sorry, couldn't resist. Let's go again. And someday, in the not-too-distant future when we've solved this crisis, we'll all be back together again working for the good of Halcyon. Until then, the board shall provide for the deserving just as it always has. So, obey your supervisors, take your vitamins, follow your corporate-mandated grooming rituals, and rest assured with the board on your side, there is nothing to worry about.
Apologies for the wait. I was arranging...
If you see any sprats loose up here, definitely don't touch them.
They'll never see us.
Sorry, I shouldn't talk. Not without signing a waiver.
Not so fast. The Ministry of Accuracy and Morale is off limits to basically, if you don't work here, or for Chairman Rockwell himself... I don't know how you got that, but I still don't know you, and I don't have any new clearances on the list.
I think I'm gonna start taking my life out in the city.
Got a promotion coming. I can feel it.
What's this I hear about you ordering more tests performed with sample pools? That backfired spectacularly.
I saw a variance in the results that we never accounted for, so I had the techs run the trial again.
Let the record show that subject 23K's cause of death is cerebral vascular incident.
Looking good, soldier.
If you have a message from Adjutant Sophia Akande.
No one ever looks quite the same in person as they do in my reports. And my reports of you have been exceptionally thorough. You've had quite a career. I think you're being modest. I've been keeping up with you ever since Emerald Vale. Now that was an interesting piece of work. A rundown backwater, barely worth the ink on a map. Until you showed up. Today the region is profitable for the first time in years. Its workers are productive. They might even be happy. All this happened because some mysterious stranger fell out of the sky. You have something I want. I'd like to negotiate. Yes, I'm aware that you stole a batch of precious chemicals and destroyed an important experiment. Enterprising of you, if irritating. My scientists tell me they'll restore the damage you've done within a matter of months. But I'm not here to talk about minor setbacks. Phineas Wells is wanted by the board. I want to convince you to turn him in to us. He has a litany of charges against him. Vandalism, illegal experimentation, sedition. I could go on. Wells is a dangerous madman. His plan is going to endanger everyone in Halcyon. He's an obsessive psychopath. And he's using you. You're in contact with Wells. I want you to send us a tracing signal from his communication terminal. Wells was our mistake. We failed to apprehend him for years. I'm asking you to help me correct that mistake. I'm sending you my access code. Contact me from Wells's terminal. When you're done, come speak to me in my office.
Adjutant Akande's call has been terminated. Will there be anything else, Captain? Now arriving at Phineas's top-secret orbital lab.
Busy in your absence, optimized my formula. I'm now confident I can revive the remaining colonists. All I need now is the dimethyl sulfoxide. I'll take as much as you can give me. What? Oh, yes, well, that's obvious. Anyone with 2 working labs can see this colony's slouching toward oblivion. Why do you think we've been doing all this? I revived you to help me save Halcyon from annihilation. Freeze all the workers? Why? So a gang of powdered toffs can carry on living in Byzantium? You call that a plan? I always knew Halcyon was heading toward a systems collapse, but I never imagined we were already there. The board made this crisis, and now they want to solve it by freezing the rest of us? That's not a plan. That's a goddamn escape clause. That makes two things we don't have. Time and chemicals to revive the other settlers. None of this was supposed to happen. I was supposed to revive the Hope's colonists. We were supposed to have enough time to solve the problem before we all starved. Human test subjects? Oh, that's grotesque. That's unthinkable. That's exactly what I'd expect out of the board. Thank you. You've brought me enough chemicals to get started, at least. I'm just sorry they came at the cost of human lives. Those poor people, they must have died in agony. What exactly was the board trying to accomplish? You say the board's trying to freeze their subjects over and over again without inflicting permanent damage? Well, they're nowhere close to solving that problem. I'll tell you this much. The board scientists are hopelessly lost. After years of fruitless experimentation, they've made exactly zero progress. We're out of time. We're out of chemicals. We may very well be out of options. If the board has their way, we're all going to be spending the rest of our lives frozen in stasis. Do you realize what this means for the Hope? For your fellow colonists? The board's going to kill them all. Toss them out into space, just to make room in their hibernation chambers. Short of lining up every member of the board and shooting them in the back of the head. Do you know what's waiting for us on the Hope? Scientists, engineers, artists, the brightest minds Earth ever sent us, uncorrupted by the board. The board's going to dispose of them all and transform the Hope into a prison for the rest of us. They're likely on their way to the Hope as we speak. We need to get to those colonists before the board. I have enough chemicals to start reviving a few of them, but no easy way to get them off the Hope. Merciful gibbering law, you're a genius! We bring the Hope to us. Skip the entire ship across the distance of colony space, right next to my lab. Yes, exactly. You're a step ahead of me, but I perceive the shape of your plan. If we link up the Hope to the Unreliable, then use your navigational computer to calculate a reasonably safe vector, we can skip the entire colony ship into the rings of Terra 2.
I don't know much about skip drives, not the physics anyhow.
Excellent question, my sharp-witted mechanic. You will use your own ship to power up the Hope's skip drive. Your navigational computer can handle the rest. You'll need to switch on the Hope's auxiliary power using the Unreliable. Then head to the bridge. Your navigational computer, Ada, should be able to activate the Hope's skip drive. Once you've skipped the Hope next to my lab, I'll have easy access to the frozen colonists. I can start reviving them immediately. Certainly. How can I help? Unlikely. The Hope is as massive as the Groundbreaker, but compared to the rings of Terra 2, positively minuscule. The board might notice, possibly, depending on the position of their heads relative to the depth of their collective posteriors. Skip drives were never designed to be used within a system, but I skipped my ship across Alción when I rescued you, and that turned out fine, mostly. That is, I ruined my ship and nearly killed myself in the process, but the maneuver was well within acceptable margin. I know you're wondering why I'm doing all this. Why I believe the people on the Hope are the answer to The board would have us believe Halcyon is beyond saving. I choose to believe otherwise. If there's even the slightest chance we can save Halcyon from oblivion, then we have to take it. You absolutely should. Sarcasm, the last refuge of the witless. The adjutant must have sent you some kind of tracking code. If you don't use the code, she'll suspect you betrayed her. I think you should use the code and send a corrupted tracking signal. That should buy me some time. The board's going to catch up to me sooner or later. This way I'll have time to set up some particularly nasty defenses. Use my communications terminal to corrupt the tracking signal. While the board busies themselves trying to decipher it, I'll have plenty of time to prepare my defenses. Certainly. That should do it. You've bought me more than enough time.
Captain, you have a message from Adjutant Sophia.
I'm impressed, Captain. I almost expected you wouldn't go through with it. Unfortunately, Dr. Wells found a way to corrupt the signal before we could pinpoint his location. Still, it's only a matter of time before we find him. Come visit me in Byzantium. We need to have a talk about the future of this colony. Transmissions are so impersonal. Meet me in my office. I've authorized your ship at my personal landing.
Adjutant Akande has ended her call. Rather rudely, if I might say, considering she didn't sign off. Will there be anything? We are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Not so fast. All right, you're clear. The adjutant's expecting you.
I admit part of me expected you to stand by your old friend. For better or worse, Wells was responsible for putting you back on your feet. That said, he's also a wanted criminal. For information regarding his whereabouts, you are entitled to collect a reward from Percival. I understand you've infiltrated the Ministry. The things you discovered there must have been shocking, even disturbing. Halcyon is on the verge of a total systems collapse. The truth is ugly and difficult to accept, but we must accept the truth before we can move forward. Malnutrition is already a problem. Disease will come next, followed by starvation, followed by a breakdown of society, followed by extinction. I know this must come as a surprise to you. I imagine you have questions.
Guess monarch folk ain't the only ones fucked around here. That ain't exactly an uplifting thought.
I know your face. Stellar Bay's most infamous hunter. How curious that you've thrown your lot in with the captain. Monarch may harbor delusions of independence, but make no mistake. You are a part of our colony. If we fall, Monarch falls with us.
Is that why we were suffering plague in Edgewater? Malnutrition? All those folks sick and dying, and you knew why the whole time?
Yes, Miss Holcomb, we knew why. We've known for some time that Edgewater was dying. The colony itself is dying. The suffering you experienced in Edgewater, the disease, the starvation, will soon spread across Halcyon unless we act. I won't pretend the truth isn't damning. Yes, the colony is on the verge of collapse, but there is a way to save it. I'll answer however I can. The Lifetime Employment Program is not some malevolent strategy of an evil mastermind. There's no dark secret buried in the fine print. The program is logical, it's reasonable, it's merciful, and most importantly, it will work. Byzantium is the beating heart of our colony. And as long as Byzantium survives, Halcyon may one day recover from the collapse. We must protect this city at any cost. Help me execute the Lifetime Employment Program, and you will have earned a place of honor in Byzantium. You will live in comfort and want for nothing. When you turned Phineas Wells over to me, I knew I could rely on you. You've demonstrated your ability to place duty above sentiment. And you deliver results. That quality alone is enough to separate you from the board's army of indecisive bureaucrats. Do you know how many meetings I have to sit through? How many papers I have to sign before I can make one decision? I'm only trying to rescue Halcyon from extinction. I can't save this colony alone. I need someone capable of working outside the system. Someone who can get things done. When I first discovered the truth, I was shocked, even disgusted. I wondered how we'd allowed a colony like Halcyon to fall into disarray. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized the colony had sown the seeds of its own destruction. We have become lazy and decadent. We smother ourselves in meaningless bureaucracies. We deliberate and argue and procrastinate. I admit, I occasionally fantasize about making an executive decision without having some tedious committee questioning my every move. Do you have any idea how much paperwork is involved in ordering someone's execution through the usual channels? It's positively maddening. We've already crossed the point of no return. The collapse has already begun. You must have noticed the signs in Emerald Vale. Malnutrition, disease, high mortality rates. This is a permanent famine, Captain. We've done all we can to curb their hunger. Very soon, people are going to realize they're starving. A famine is a problem of logistics as well as marketing. Your workers must remain productive on as little food as possible, and they must always believe that food is plentiful. Before you interfered in Roseway, Dr. Anton Crane was on the verge of developing a powerful appetite suppressant. It would have made his career. The solution is a temporary one. Before long, our workers are going to feel the effects of starvation. The Lifetime Employment Program is our only viable option. We need to talk about Emerald Vale. I will be frank, Edgewater was a lost cause. I never expected the settlement to survive another year. But then, you came along. I don't know how you managed to convince a faction of disloyal workers to return to their posts. In fact, Edgewater is more productive than ever before. Every worker in Edgewater will be expedited into our lifetime employment program. Well done, Captain. That town owes you an enormous debt. Sensible as well as modest. You're quickly becoming my favorite freelancer. You should be proud of yourself, Captain. You're on the verge of making history. There's just one last job I need you to do for me. I've made arrangements for you to journey to the Hope. You will board your former colony ship, reactivate its navigation systems, and skip the colony ship into orbit around Tartarus. Once the Hope is in position, we will have everything we need to begin healing the colony. The Hope has been out of commission for years. You'll need to connect your own ship to the Hope's auxiliary power supply. Then make your way to the Hope's bridge. Your ship's computer will activate the Hope's skip drive and bring you into orbit around Tartarus. You've proven yourself more than capable. I don't know if there's anyone better suited to this mission than you. Give yourself some credit, Captain. You've come this far without dying in some senseless accident. Clearly, the Architect has a plan for you. Technology, Captain. The same technology that allowed you and your fellow colonists to make the journey from Earth to Halcyon. Under the Lifetime Employment Program, every suitable worker in Halcyon will be placed in suspended animation. The Hope is the perfect storage facility for the colony's workers. I won't lie to you. We're going to have to dispose of some of the Hope's settlers in order to make room for Halcyon's rotating workforce. But try to understand, many of your fellow settlers are beyond saving. They've been frozen for far too long, and the revival process would be lethal. Convenience. The Hope is a massive ship and we'll need to make use of it. Our facilities in Tartarus will benefit from having the ship within orbit. I have the highest faith in your abilities, Captain.
Adjutant Akande has instructed me quite
Sending a corrupted tracking signal to the board was quite clever, if I might say, Captain. Welcome back, Captain. How can I request... We have arrived at the Hope. I need you to reroute power from our... You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to enable the skip drive. If your calculations are even slightly off, you could crash the entire colony ship into Terra 2, or the Sun. Forgetfulness can be an early warning sign of asphyxiation due to loss of pressurization. Are you breathing comfortably, Captain? I need you to reroute power from our ship to the Hope. You'll have to connect me to the Hope's comm system so I can convince her central computer to Welcome back. What part of the... Take care.
Something about waking a derelict ship puts me on edge, Captain. Hope you know what you're doing.
Should we...
Got 'em all!
These were the private quarters of the Hope's former crew. Shall we hold a moment of silence for the dearly departed? No? That's odd, because my programming would indicate that when forced to confront the idea of self-death, organics prefer... Oh, I see. Yes, never mind.
I don't know if we should be in here, Captain. It should be private, shouldn't it?
That's the Hope's computer up ahead. I'll admit, I am curious to wake him.
Hope's so much like Groundbreaker. I knew they were sisters, but it's eerie. Like walking in another universe where we all died.
Here they come! Not you! Word, don't mess with us.
Greetings, Captain. I am speaking to you through the Hope's computer system. It's a rather cramped feeling, but it'll do. Wait, are you leaving me with the Hope's computer? You have no idea what it's like to converse with him. Imagine. I mean, I'll be... Are you sufficiently prepared? Are you sufficient? Certainly. You may skip the Hope to Tartarus, as you were instructed to by the adjutant. Doing so would bring the Hope within close proximity of Phineas Wells's orbital lab, allowing him to access the colonists frozen within. Your act would be immediately noticed across Terra 2, as the colony ship Hope abruptly enters into the planet's rings. Are you sure? That is extremely dangerous. Skipping the Hope will void the warranty on the skip drive. Jump-starting the skip drive. Destination set to the rings of Terra 2. I wouldn't advise...
Oh no. Captain, don't do this. I ain't dying on a fucking ship. I want to die in the dirt like we're meant to.
Admitting a deficit? My, you never cease to amaze me, Captain. Skipping the Hope in 3, 2, 1. That is what my captain intends, yes.
But that is a gross misuse of the skip drive. The Zero Point Drives Corp and I will not be held responsible for any damage incurred during transport, and this will cause extreme damage.
Yes, I am aware of that.
You should not be doing this. The humans will die.
Thank you, Hope. It looks like all systems are go. Captain, I would advise you to hold on to something. Now. Oh, good. We are still alive and have successfully skipped into Terra 2's orbit. I reported as much to Phineas Wells, but he has not responded. Perhaps you should check in on him.
Ugh. I feel like my stomach's still back where the ship used to be. I need a hard drink and a long nap.
Captain, I shall now play the transmission I received from Dr. Wells.
Thank the Lord you warned me. I was able to get some defenses up, but they might not be enough. The board has sent some serious firepower to pry me out of here. They're trying to get in here, and I'm not sure I can stop them. If they capture me, if we can't communicate again, there's something very important you need to remember. The board, all their lackeys, they're all a bunch of swine. Do you hear me? The fucking corporate swine! You fucking pigs! I'll take you all out with me! I'll never...
It would seem the recording captured some rather dire events. I presume you'll want to dock at the orbital lab to check on your associate as soon as possible? How can I be of assistance? See you soon. We've arrived at Phineas's orbital lab.
Incoming!
Right.
One all right? Great work!
Captain, as it appears we may soon be embarking for a maximum security prison planet, I believe the crew would like to speak with you to, as you humans put it, air some concerns.
Those board goons kidnapped Mr. Phineas and hauled him away to Tartarus. How are we gonna get him out?
I'm not one for pointless heroism, but the board's gonna be after us next. We gonna finish what we started?
To extract the scientist, you will need to infiltrate the labyrinth. But that course of action is likely to be quite dangerous, Captain. I am programmed to warn you whenever you exhibit inclinations toward risky behavior. Breaking into Tartarus will not be easy.
Getting in is the simple part. It's getting out again that's the trouble. Trust me, I know.
Let's just do it. Kick down some doors, grab Doc Wells, and cut a path out. We don't need a plan. We got guns.
If you really mean to do this, you should see to your final affairs and close out any unfinished business. Once you sneak into Tartarus, you may be there a while. Or permanently.
It's the craziest plan I've ever heard. And I mean that as a compliment.
You didn't hire me to think. And I ain't about to start now. You're my boss. And I'll walk into fire with you.
I think it's insane. But maybe the colony needs a healthy dose of insanity right about now.
I know it's dangerous. And I won't lie and say I'm not scared out of my wits. But I couldn't live with myself if we didn't do something.
You're asking for more than bravery from us, Captain. But there are worse ways to go than dying for a good cause. I'm in.
Let Sam get the grime out. It's what our units do best.
The entire plan is a terrible idea, but I admire your bravado, Captain, which leads me to illogically believe, against the odds, that you will be successful.
If we don't make it, at least it'll be a great story.
Got my trusty tossball stick, got my ass-kicking boots. I'm ready, boss.
Outstanding.
You can count on us, Captain. We're crew. For real crew. That means we got each other's backs. Right?
Never thought I'd volunteer to break into a prison. Seems like your tendency towards risky behavior is rubbing off on me, Captain.
Command not recognized.
Waiting on your command, Captain. I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment for trespassing is execution. Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make departure impossible at this time. Resident count is as follows: 3,071. Resident deaths, including but not limited to executions, are as follows: 1,684. Resident escapes are as follows: 0. The interior can be chilly. I would also ask that you leave your captain's ID with me. In the event that you do not return, I can make the assurance that I will not leave with another captain unless you do not return within 876,541,652 hours. Oh, speak of the devil. Captain, I am receiving a transmission from the prison's docking authority now.
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. This is a maximum security installation. Your presence here is an explicit violation of UDL corporate policy. You are hereby confined to your docking platform until a ticket detailing your crimes has been filed and notarized, at which point your vessel will be seized and you will be executed. UDL does appreciate the courtesy you've done us by delivering yourself here. As a show of our deepest gratitude, we will make your execution quite swift. Huh? Oh, yes, sir, right away, sir. I just couldn't see you clearly before. Screen's on the fritz. Damn thing. But for the record, now that I hear you, I totally recognize you. Totally. You're, you, of course, obviously. Anyway, Tartarus Docking Authority signing up. Hang on. Another ship just pulled into your dock. Wait, is that from the groundbreaker? What the? Pay no mind to that, just have a pleasant day.
Transmission terminated. Biometric ID received. Transferring data to external cartridge. How can I be of assistance? I'll be here.
Did right by our friend. The board will never hold groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardat.
Gotta get down! Taste of freedom. Got your paperwork squared away.
Has the bars when it's gonna storm like that guarding the gates.
I've gotta admit, I'm not too keen on walking into a prison. They lock me up, I'm liable to kill everyone trying to get back out. Whew. We have a lot of shooting to do, Captain.
Let's go, troops. Stellar Base counting on us.
Spreading the good word, one bullet at a time. Spreading the good... Ready to kick some ass?
What?
Well, look who it is. I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement, and here you are as a bonus. I had heard you'd taken a mechanic under your wing. What's the matter, girl? Couldn't find actual employment?
The captain's treated me right. Better than any of you bored folk ever have. I'm exactly where I want to be.
Ah, I knew I smelled Monarch when you lot walked in. The stench of sulfur, depression, and desperate bravado is unmistakable.
Keep talking, you'll be smelling iron. Ain't nobody so important I won't put a bullet in.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable to show to my citizens. I'm not in your way, you dullard. You talk to me. You want to go die in a blaze of glory? Be my guest. Besides, I don't know what you think you're doing here, but Sophia's doing good work up there with Phineas. Your efforts will be in vain. Yes, he is an extraordinarily obstinate fellow, isn't he? Fine, he isn't working for us per se. Semantics, he'll come around. But that's between us. As far as my adoring citizens will know, we've turned a dangerous crackpot into a working-class man. It's a miracle. Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. That'll solve our starvation problems. I don't know what half-baked plans that simpleton in a lab coat has been leading you through, but it's done. It's over. Let me ask you something, Captain. Have you at any point thought about not fucking up our entire society?
We're helping, which is more than you can say.
I'm making actual progress towards stabilization and recovery. You're just getting in the way. Oh, right. This coming from the psychopathic outlaw. Yes, I'll try to be more open-minded about your path of wanton descent. We don't need your help. We'll have to agree to disagree on that one, Captain. Now, if you don't mind, I have to finish prepping this script.
All right, MSI. I'm not one for round speeches, but the captain needs our help. So get in there and fight.
About a blasted laptop. Open fire!
calm before the storm and all that.
Whatever comes of this, I'm just real glad to know you all.
Captain, you have an uncanny talent for complicating my life. Words cannot express the extent of my disappointment. We had a plan. All you had to do was skip the Hope to Tartarus, as I asked. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty. Typical. Running your mouth in the middle of a crisis. It's almost as if you delight in chaos. I should have dealt with you a long time ago. You were always too dangerous to leave unchecked. Leaving you alive was my greatest mistake, but it is a mistake I intend to correct. I have Dr. Wells in my custody. Once I've secured his cooperation, I can move forward with the program. I can repair the damage you've done. I can set things right. Fair enough. I'm giving you exactly one chance to parley with me. Yes, I'm quite aware of your brazen act of corporate vandalism. By the way, those test subjects you killed, they died in agony. My scientists assure me they can recover the data you've destroyed. You've succeeded in temporarily delaying our research. Nothing more. That isn't true. It can't be. You're trying to manipulate me. That experiment was absolutely essential to the program. My scientists assured me they were close to a breakthrough. They gave me their word. Damn you. You are telling the truth. My scientists have been lying to me, and I was stupid enough to trust them at their word. We're going to have to start all over again. All that research, all those experiments. You've set us back decades. You were always an unknown variable. I tried to recruit you, but you threw your lot in with that madman, Phineas Wells. This prison is equipped with an automechanical warden. I've had it programmed to eliminate you on sight and rinse your remains down a drain. And don't worry. I will inform Dr. Wells that you died heroically, or something.
You make it look so easy.
Why won't you just...
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was a monster. Her death was much deserved, and long overdue. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough. I'm all right, thanks to you. Akande wanted my cooperation. I'm quite sure she would have beaten it out of me if you hadn't arrived. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Alción. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated. I would like nothing more than to celebrate this victory, but we have a serious problem on our hands. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
So we've got to make do on our own. Seems to me that'll make us stronger in the end anyhow.
You're quite right. We've got no choice but to make do on our own.
You mean we're all alone out here? Really alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Alción is the only home we have left. Returning to Earth is no longer an option. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Alción? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own. Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us? When I revived you, I thought you were going to help me save this colony. I was wrong. I had our roles reversed, you see. You're the one who's going to save us all. I'm just the one who set you on your path. You're the best thing to ever happen to Alción. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Alción was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Alción. The people of Alción were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Alción was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Sublight Salvage adapted to the changes in Halcyon, shifting their business model to suit the times. Their claims of legitimacy were scrutinized, but ultimately unquestioned. Lilia Hagen would continue to protect her family as ruthlessly as ever. After returning to Edgewater, the deserters negotiated workplace reforms with Reed Thompson, including a single day of rest, which came to be known as a weekend. As the world around him changed, Thompson found himself pining for the old days. He was known to spend his weekends in the cantina, nursing one of the few remaining bottles of Zero-G, and repeating to himself, "It's not the best choice, it's Spacer's choice." As for Adelaide McDevitt, she tended to her garden in solitude for another year before passing away. Her body was discovered some months later, when Reed Thompson paid her a visit in an effort to make amends. Her remains were buried in a place of honor, underneath the floor of the Edgewater Cannery. Reed believed this was what she always wanted. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers, schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Even the Gorgon asteroid, though a distant enigma to most of Halcyon, felt the aftershocks of your actions. The destroyed Adrenatime synthesizer became a symbol of the board's cruelty and a rallying point for Wells and his scientists as they sought to build a more humane, ethical Halcyon. They cleared the dead from Gorgon's laboratories and repurposed them to aid in the crucial work of solving the colony's nutrition crisis. Gorgon, which had once sown death and destruction across Halcyon, became a source of hope and renewal. The Gorgon Project's final explosive end was bittersweet for Olivia Ambrose. She wandered the colony's fringes alone, searching for others like her who despised the board and meant to destroy them. In time, she found Phineas Wells and his cadre of scientists, and she joined them in their efforts to save Halcyon. For a while, she even knew an uneasy peace. But for all that, Olivia found purpose in Wells' project. She was always haunted by the memory of her daughter, Minnie, who hadn't lived to see the better world they were building. She never did forgive herself for the horror her work had wrought on Alción, but she remembered fondly the daring captain who'd put an end to it at last. In spite of everything, the Gorgon asteroid remained a sobering reminder of the potential for progress and disaster in humanity's most ambitious efforts. The Rizzo's company in Halcyon dissolved after the collapse of the board. Needless to say, the launch of Spectrum Brown was indefinitely delayed. A stockpile of Spectrum Brown remains buried deep beneath the ruins of the old distillery, abandoned to time and attrition. With the dissolution of the board, Ruth Bellamy found herself without the two constants in her life: Byzantine culture and her sister, Belinda. In the face of this new reality, she struggled to find a direction for her life. The colony had moved on from Alción Helen and would require new heroes in the years to come. And so Ruth Bellamy decided it was time to exit stage left. She quietly disappeared from public view. The dissolution of the board did not mean the dissolution of the ambitions of Cedric Kincannon, the charismatic leader of Sublight Underground. Cedric offered slugs transportation services to the newly thawed colonists and set to work ferrying resources and food wherever they were most needed. For better or worse, slug headgear became fashionable in the following years. As the board began to disintegrate, Spencer Woolrich found himself at a crossroads. Cling to what little stardom remained to him, or help usher Halcyon into its new future. To the surprise of many, perhaps himself most of all, Spencer chose the latter option. Having learned a variety of different skills in the many different roles played throughout his lengthy career, Spencer founded a radio serial dedicated to staying alive despite the odds. His subjects included how to survive violent encounters with only grazing wounds, dispense pithy one-liners for tense scenarios, and, of course, how to look good doing both. After a brief attempt at dating Helen as one person rather than two, which both Bertie and Helen found too strange, Bertie struck out on his own to try his hand at raising woolly cows. Many of his former Rangers teammates soon followed, accompanied by the woolly cow the team had originally plied with alcohol. The dairy farm thrived under Bertie's leadership and care. The Dairy Rangers privately believed that the woolly cows softened Bertie's temper considerably, although the only one brave enough to say this to his face was promptly headbutted. Due to the board's dissolution, many of the Prophet's old customers no longer found quite the same value in productivity seminars that they once had. With her business drying up, the Prophet chose to take her followers down a new path. Months later, salvagers on Eridanos found clues leading them to a seemingly abandoned bunker out in the wilderness. Inside, they discovered horribly mangled corpses, sacrificed to a blood-scrawled portrait of a sprat-headed deity. The Prophet was not among the bodies. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. After all he'd seen and heard adventuring with you, the vicar Maximilian de Soto renounced his faith and joined the effort to rebuild the colony. Ironically, he finally found the joy that had eluded him over the course of his life, and realized that perhaps he was always meant to be just a simple laborer after all. He quickly dismissed the idea. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker. and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name. And in no time, she was a fixture in the groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Alción? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster. The years that followed were hard, but Halcyon survived by the efforts of the Hope's most promising colonists, the greatest of which was you. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.